Honey, are you ready yet? My new job as manager in Oregon won't do the work itself. We need to get going.
Meanwhile, Elizabeth and John are running around in the yard playing. Okay, hun, just a second. I'm preparing our cooler for the journey ahead. I don't want to stop at some nasty fast food chain along the way unless we need to. Alright, done. Let's not take that. Okay, honey, I'm ready to get the kids loaded up.
John, Elizabeth, it's time to head out. We have a big adventure ahead of us, a new frontier. Okay.
They say you are
The family gets settled and head out onto the road trip. Dad, what exciting things will we see on our adventure?
Oh, I hope we get to see Indians, just like in those Western movies. That would be so cool.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to be patient and see what the road has for us along the way. It will be a long road ahead of us. We can't go too fast since we all have our belongings packed up in the trailer. You know, kids, we are just like the pilgrims back from the olden days.
What do you mean, Dad?
Well, a long time ago, back in the time where cars were not even an invention or nonetheless an idea, people from our neck of the woods, the east, traveled thousands of miles ahead west just like we are about to do in the hopes of finding prosperity and a clarity of life. They traveled in big wooden wagons pulled by horses and camped around outside the wagons instead of inside. All their belongings were packed just like our U-Haul. Yep, they were pulled by oxen because they were cheaper than horses. They traveled in big groups that numbered into the thousands. They saw many things that were beyond their imagination, like the plains of Nebraska and the mighty mountains of Colorado. Now kids, it'll be a long ride, but remember to always be content at where we are right now. There's a new day ahead of us. Wow!
I'm so excited.
Come on, truck.
Let's go faster.
Hey Mom, may I have one of those sandwiches? I promise I won't make a mess. Oh, and the water too, please.
Yes, sweetie, just don't drink and eat all the food at once. We have to conserve for the trip.
Yes, Mom.
The family gets on the highway. The road, a guide for them to Oregon.
So, what is the significance of the Oregon Trail in today's culture?
Well, right now, we actually are just living on the history of the Oregon Trail. The Oregon Trail came through here, and that's why there's a road here. That's why these towns developed along here. And, that's how we came to be. So we still have that pioneer culture in our area, and I think even the values of the area are still very much that independent, people who were really willing to take a risk and live in some tough times. And probably more introverts live here than extroverts, who are willing to leave the crowds and go west. Highway 26 is essentially one stretch of the Oregon Trail. So that's how it got started, and those roads were created by the pioneers, and they work, so people just kept using them.
The pioneers of the 1840s risked all that they had in hopes of a better life in the West, where the land was abundant and there was fair game to anyone who called it. Their destination was Oregon. The Oregon Trail is the first in American history where mass groupings of people came together to migrate from east to west. The aspiration to go beyond the seclusion that they were in, to go and find new land, very much in the same spirit that many Americans sought back in the day where roads and automobiles were becoming the norm of society. The American spirit to drive and be connected to the vast body of American culture, and also to experience a sense of freedom of the road. Pioneer families thought it would be worth the trek, and staggering estimated 350,000 wagons crossed the West, where it would forever change the character of.
Looks like the truck is having a hard time carrying all of our stuff.
Honey, I know we shouldn't have packed everything in our garage. Let's stop and look what we can do. Mom and Dad go and open the back of the trailer, and are taken back in time.
Mom, what happened to our car?
And our clothes. What are you talking about, kids? Oh, honey, our car. It's a wagon.
Oh man, what happened? My pickup is but a pack of oxen.
Family thinks. Looks like we traveled back in time as soon as we opened the trailer. Honey, let's lighten up the load and let's figure this out. Family unloads necessary necessities. Kids are playing with the oxen.
Look, Ma, this oxen licked my fingers.
Big Springs and Ash Hollow, which is our big historical park here by Llewellyn. It's because when the pioneers got there, this was, the first time they'd seen trees for 200 miles, and it was the first time they had clean water, because river water's not that clean, so there were springs, and there were, rose bushes blooming and berries, and, they were pretty excited to get to Ash Hollow. It was also their first rough part of the trip, because coming down Windlass Hill was scary, I would say. I would definitely have walked and not ridden in a wagon. Yeah. I'm sure that was true with almost everybody.
Guys, look!
Surrounding them, wagons and oxen pulling them, were passing the Scots.
There's so many. Oh man, West Side, these people are just like us. They're headed out to the west too. Look at their eyes, Dad. They are determined, but also enchanted by the great plains that surround us. Yes, son, we are in the same era as the pioneers of the Oregon Trail. They were in very many cases just like us. The open fields are their freedom, and the ruts they leave behind are the roads that give them that sense of freedom.
Let's get on, kids. Our next stop is Ash Hollow. Family gets on, and as they get on, they are taken back to the modern times. Oh, honey, we're back in our Ford. So weird. As the family is disfigured from the strange ordinances, they continue on the road. Their next stop, Ash Hollow, Nebraska. Passing by fields of grassland as the wind whistles in the air, the Scots are now traveling through western Nebraska. The Ford Escape comes to a stop.
Ash Hollow Monument.
Why did we stop here? We stopped here to experience the Oregon Trail. Everyone, let's go explore. Charles locks the vehicle after everyone exits. Immediately, the family transcends back into the 19th century. The smell of dust, the sound of oxen pulling the oxen, and nothing but the open road occupy space and around them. Elizabeth asked her father, Charles, if the Oregon Trail belongs to the United States, why does the British believe the trail belongs to them?
The British believed Oregon belonged to them because an English explorer, Sir Francis Drake, visited the area in 1579. The U.S. believed the trail belonged to them due to Lewis and Clark discovering the trail.
It seems like the land has been a problem between different groups of people. Unfortunately, honey, Charles, it's getting late. We should stop and set up camp before it gets too dark.
I'm one step ahead of you, honey. I heard of a spot close.
As the moon gently hangs in the cold night sky, its light unveils the darkness of the plains. With the Scott family fast asleep, a western wind starts to fiercely blow the encampment of the tent, and faint calls the Indians to reverberate across the land. The family settles in a space nearby before nightfall or rest. The sound of horses' tribal calls fill the air. The Scots were under attack. Their resting place was on the sacred ground of Native Americans. Charles would have to think fast. His family lives were at stake.
What is happening? Our tent is starting to lift off the ground. Wait, what? Mom, Dad, wake up. The wind is going to blow our tent away.
The family starts to wake up.
Come on, wake up, you guys. What's that noise? It sounds like people are howling.
John looks outside of the tent.
Oh, wow, it's Indians making that noise. They don't look so happy, though. I wonder if we camped where we weren't supposed to.
Indian chants get louder as the fast approach to the camp.
Oh no, they're getting closer. Hey, you Indians, don't hurt us. We didn't mean to camp on your land. Let us gather our things and we'll leave.
Tugs at parents and sister.
Come on, you guys have to wake up. We're going to get killed if you don't. Come on, Dad.
The family starts to wake up.
Huh? What is it, son? Indians! They want to scalp us for getting on their land. Oh my gosh. Betty, grab the kids and sneak out the camp. I'll grab the shotgun from the wagon.
The wife and kids sneak from behind the camp and Charles grabs the shotgun. Immediately, Charles grabs the shotgun, shoots it in the air 3 times with the look of rage in his eyes. Surprisingly, the Indians scurry off. The family then hurries and gets back into the wagon, travels another 3 miles until they find a safe resting spot not on sacred land, and falls back asleep. The sun begins to rise. The family looks around, confused. The Scots are now back in the car with the seatbelt signal beeping.
Did we just...
I think so. The legend of the Oregon Trail is that those true to the trail will travel back in time and experience the trail from the eyes of former immigrants.
The trail is much different now. People like us are defined as tourists. We help the economy by giving money to visit the trail.
The trail's historical significance brings in $114 million into the Oregon economy, specifically.
114 million? That's right, son.
People come from all over the world for the experience of the trail.
So, what was the relationship between the pioneers and the Indians that settled here before?
Okay, so Pawnee did come out as far as our area, but mostly it was Lakota, and they were in conflict with each other, and pretty much the Pawnee were run out early in the 1800s, so it was really Lakota. And the Lakota camped up and down Blue Creek and would come down into Ash Hollow and go south hunting buffalo. So the first years of the Oregon Trail, the pioneers and the Lakota were fine with each other, and actually people were terrified when they left. They were sure the Indians were going to kill them.
Oh, really?
There are many diaries that tell about that. But what they found out here was that the Indians would trade with them, and they would, sometimes if they were out hunting, they would bring them food or help them across rivers. So it really was a very congenial relationship. It became difficult though, because like in about 1850, I think it was, somewhere in there, cholera hit really badly, and it was horrible on the pioneers, of course. And so like Ash Hollow, there were so many cholera deaths in the Ash Hollow area. But when the Lakota came in, when there was the crossover of relations, then they were getting sick. And so even like measles and, some of the diseases that aren't so fatal among Caucasian people were fatal with Native American people. So that became a big issue.
Having escaped their near Indian catastrophe at the Scottsbluff Monument, the Scots continue on Highway 26 to Guernsey, Wyoming. Still recovering, the family silently rides the road, but Elizabeth breaks the silence. Dad?
Yes, sweetie?
Why is all of this happening to us?
I'm not too sure.
Dad?
Yes?
Were the pioneers just afraid and weary as we are? We only have experienced bits of the experience that they have. I can just imagine how they must have felt.
Elizabeth, the pioneers traveled to the west in hopes of a better quality of life. Along with the pioneers were Mormons, who also sought to escape religious persecution. The point I'm trying to make is that to reach a place of glory, it isn't going to be easy. There will be hardships. The Oregon Trail paved a new way of hope and freedom from a life of being trapped in a box. There was a whole world to discover for them. The Oregon Trail that the pioneers created were very much the same as the roads we are riding on now. The sights we have seen, like Ash Hollow and its magnificent woodlands and rocky countenance, and the springs of fresh water that quenched the dry mouths of so many, and also the mighty provision of the Scottsbluff Monument and the vast plains of the Midwest. They all have enlarged a perspective of, wow, to see these monumental God-crafted structures brings awe to my unsettled eyes. I am a pilgrim in an unknown land, not only discovering new sights, but also rediscovering myself in these lands.
The family stops at Guernsey, Wyoming, and parks to see the ruts of the Oregon Trail.
Come on, guys, let's get out one last time and let's see the ruts of the Oregon Trail.
Come on, kids, get up. It will be an adventure. The Scots get out of the car and start to climb the steep hill.
Hey, Ma, the hill sure is rocky. How did these people get up these things?
It was determination, honey. The family made their last step to the top.
Wow.
These ruts we see here have carved into the stone in some places, 4 feet deep. Thousands of wagons with their iron-rimmed wheels caused these ruts to appear. Look, dear, over here it looks like a silver coin, and pretty old, too.
Yes, it must be a relic from the era of the pioneers.
Mom and Dad continue along the path of the ruts, and the kids stay behind inspecting the ruts.
Elizabeth, let's go back to the top of these ruts and look at how far we've traveled.
Okay. The kids make their way to the top of the hill where the ruts started.
Watch your step.
Thank you.
Wow.
As the kids made their way to the beginning of the ruts, their clothing changed to the dressing that the pioneers wore. Alone on the hill, the two looked back, and before them a world forever changed by the first step Continental Road, the Oregon Trail.
From this valley they say you are going. I will miss your bright eyes and sweet smile. They say you are taking the sunshine that has brightened our pathway. Come and sit by my side.